Hello, my wonderful Venturites. Due to a series of incredibly unforeseen and unfortunate events, I'm not heading west anymore. Basically, I'm really sorry to all of you that have voted on sort of either Dallas or New Orleans. I'm not going to be going in either of those directions now. I am in fact going. So probably going to head to Atlanta, and then maybe Charleston, potentially Jacksonville in Florida, Orlando. Um, Time and money willing, I'd love to go to Miami if possible. However, um, due to due to the shambles that is the USPS, I've been stuck in Nashville for a lot longer. I've spent a lot more money here than I intended to. So, yeah, I got to start making my way back that way. Otherwise, I'm not going to make it home ever again. I will be stranded out here like one of the million homeless people that live on the streets. And there really are a lot of them. I'll come back to that later. But so yeah, again, I'm really sorry to all of you that were sort of invested in me going west, but instead, I'm gonna have to go east instead. But I really need some sunshine at this point. As you can see, I'm starting to look a little bit like Dracula's abandoned brother. I'm almost translucent at this point. I could really use some fruit and veg as well. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough moping all around the hotel. Let's go out and go and find something to do. So while I'm on another one of my long 2-hour walks into the city, I thought I'd talk a little bit about some of the stuff we really take for granted in the UK. First and foremost, for me, is the Royal Mail. It's an unbelievably brilliant and efficient service, and it absolutely puts this country's USPS to total shame. As most of you know, I've been waiting for my cards for a really long time, and most of that is because USPS just can't pull their thumbs out and do stuff properly. So the next poster you see, thank him from me, please. The next thing we really take for granted is our bin men and clean-up crews. You just get trash piled up on the side of the roads around here, and it is just crazy amounts of it, which you just don't get in the UK at all, really. In certain places, obviously, but nowhere near sort of major cities and things like that. Number 3 would be social housing. I've come across more homeless people sort of in my journey here in the last couple of weeks than I have in probably the entire of my life in the UK. There are so many people that just slip through the cracks of society, and they're just kind of forgotten about, and just left to essentially just to rot on the streets. There's this one guy I came across, God bless him, ooh, I'm gonna get hit by a car, had frostbite on one of his fingers. I chucked him a spare pair of gloves, who's been on the streets for probably about 5-6 years, I think he said. And again, we wouldn't allow it to happen in our country at all, which leads me to my fourth and probably not final, but which would be our NHS, our National Health Service, because we wouldn't allow even our homeless people to get to that point where their finger is quite literally, it was almost dropping off. It was that bad. I felt awful for the guy, so I chucked him a couple of dollars as well. So me being me, craving a little bit of a sort of open space and countryside, I've come to the Bicentennial Capital Mall State Park. I think that's right. There's a lot of sort of like Civil War memorabilia bits and pieces here. There's a couple of museums that I think are free. I hope are free, which would be lovely. So I'm going to have a bit of a wander around here, and I'll show you guys the prettiness of the place. You got all of these bricks that appear to have been sort of individually laid by, well, by people, and people from different counties and things. But the park itself, obviously, it's much smaller than Central Park or DC Capital Park. You see the city just behind, sorry, Mother City, just behind the trees just over there. And yeah, it's a very lovely place here. Oh, what's that? Let's go and find out what that is. There's a big old globe thing here, right in the middle. And I'm not entirely sure what it represents. Let's have a bit of a look around. This honours the Tennesseans who served in World War II for courage and sacrifice around the globe. Oh, and then it just repeats itself. Right, so I am here at the moment. I've come all the way from here, which, if you sort of look at the distance, it doesn't actually look like that much. But then if you go ahead and compare that, that's pretty much most of Western Europe that I've crossed. So it's quite a considerable distance. So I don't feel quite so bad as now that I'm heading back down this way. Through sort of Alabama, Georgia. I might go sort of directly south first, get myself onto the Caribbean coast. There's, yeah, these are all memorials for sort of different battles and things, I think. Different battles of the Second World War. So I'm gonna have a bit of a read and history myself. Not sure if you can see them very well, but in all of these you've got sort of different bells. I imagine they ring out in chorus maybe once a year or something like that as a memorial. This whole place is literally a memorial to the Second World War. It's a deep level of respect here. Right, so lovely ladies just informed me that these actually ring once every hour, or they should ring once every hour. However, they had a bit of a power issue from New Year's Eve, so everything's blown out over here, and they're currently waiting for it to be fixed. A little bit of a shame, but it's still quite cool to look at. I think those lads there are the ones trying to fix the power issue. So what started out to be a sort of doomy and gloomy, very sort of misty, smoggy, muggy day has turned into yet another beautiful Tennessee afternoon. I don't know if you can hear me because there's a massive long train behind me. It really is a massive long train. I'm praying to God my card's on one of these carriages. So all of the information about this is along here. This is blimey. Right, I'm going up there to that Greco-Roman style building. So many stairs. So, being the ignorant Brit that I am, I don't really know very much about the Civil War, so I've kind of been making it my mission to educate myself as much as possible whilst here, because it was, despite the fact that we don't really learn about it in our schools, it was just as important for us as it was for them, due to the sort of abolishment of slavery and that kind of stuff. Tennessee is one of the cities that's kind of almost right in the middle of it all, and as far as I can tell, the story goes that the North managed to take this place, and then instilled a considerably better government than the pro-slavers. Bells everywhere. The bells! The bells! These guys care a lot more about their government than we do as well. There's statues of all of them. Whereas in the UK, I think we've got a couple of Churchill. That's pretty much it, to be honest. I appear to be back in the city. That's cool. Right, let's start going. Let's go head down Broadway again. More stairs. What is this, a stair factory? I've just been told off for jaywalking again. I keep forgetting that you can't just cross the street wherever you want here. Right, I'm going to stop for some Wi-Fi. This right here is the Music City Centre, where they seem to hold a lot of sort of like conventions and stuff like that as well. It's absolutely enormous. Right, time for a little bit of naughtiness. So that there's the JW Marriott, really nice hotel. I'm not sure if that's kind of like a lounge area or a penthouse suite, but my next mission is to go and find out, because I reckon I can get some gorgeous views of the city from up there. And then failing that, I'm going to go and see if I can get up the AT&T building instead. Right, I'm in. Look at this, even the loos in here are really posh. Right, the trick is just act like you belong. And now, check out this view. I have successfully sneaked in and out of the poshest hotel in Nashville. Go security. My ears actually popped. We went up so high as well. So it's been a little bit of a double-edged sword being stuck in Nashville all this time. It is really, really lovely to have more time to sort of explore this city, because there is a lot to see. But obviously, on the flip side, I would have much preferred to have moved on by now. So hopefully, this will be the last you hear me complaining about my cards. Hopefully, they will arrive either this afternoon or tomorrow, and I can find a different city to head towards. Probably Atlanta, I'm thinking. Again, I'm sorry for all of you that voted on a different direction. Best laid plans and all that. Anyway, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. I really appreciate reading all your comments and stuff. It's quite fun when I get back to my hotel in the evenings. If anybody's got any suggestions of eastbound and down directions I should go, I would love to hear them. I'm Venture Spoon. I'm still stuck in Nashville. Have a good night.